Ladies and gentlemen, Happy Hour TV here. We're in the personal tour bus of Egypt Central, and we're here with the lead singer. This is John Falls. Yeah. Nice to meet you, John. Nice to meet you. Lunar, and this is the original Raytard right here.
Called Raytard for a reason.
Exactly.
It's earned.
Yeah, it really is earned. Now, obviously, anybody watching this, anybody who likes Happy Hour TV, I'd bet 9 to 10 of those people are going to be Egypt Central fans. You guys have really taken off big lately. But let me ask you, how long have you been in the music business, John?
Well, we've been together for 10 years, so we've been doing it for a long time. It's been a long time coming to get to this point. We were fortunate enough to have some good success on the first record. We grinded it out independently, but then also we're able to go to radio with songs like You Make Me Sick and Taking You Down and Over and Under and have really good radio success and sell, a bunch of records and meet a whole bunch of fans. And so to have that already come together for us, and then now to have this launch where we're getting the big push and everything, it really does feel like we've earned this chance to really have this time and have our moment with rock fans.
Now, on your current album, you have a song called White Rabbit. What's the inspiration behind White Rabbit? Listening to it, you hear kind of a Alice in Wonderland type theme. How exactly did you come up with White Rabbit?
Well, the whole Alice in Wonderland reference is just a way to paint a familiar picture in a really creative way of just telling a story of deception, where we had these walls put up around us by a certain figure who was part of our camp that really misled us for a long time and just made us think that everything was great, everything looked shiny and pretty around you, so just keep doing what you're doing. In the meanwhile, the truth is that you probably were surrounded by demons and you didn't even know it. And it was our awakening, and we just felt like everybody's been that way. I mean, maybe at your job with your boss has just been feeding you lines of crap for forever, and the whole time, you're thinking, I'm gonna get this big promotion, get this big raise, and the whole time he's not ever, there's no intention of ever making that come to fruition. So, it's a very relatable subject. We just wanted to do something creative with it and something that would have a little bit more of an in-depth twist than just say, hey, we're sick of being deceived,
Well, I kind of appreciate that because that's kind of a karma thing. The guy kind of held you down, and then in the end, by you writing about it, it's helped to lift you even higher. Because I can tell you, once an hour, on the hour, 98 Rock has that song on.
Yeah, we've had a lot of love from 98 Rock. We love Baltimore. It's definitely our second home, if not our first home at this point. I mean, Memphis doesn't have a rock station anymore, and I mean, this is definitely where we base everything out of. So it's great to basically, I guess, be back home and be rocking out tonight.
Well, now, I know you got to appreciate White Rabbit because it's starting to bring you more into the public eye, but I want your own personal opinion. Of all the songs you've done, you personally, what do you think your favorite song you guys have ever done together is?
Oh, that's tough, man. I love all of them, not just as a part of the band, but as a fan as well. I would say probably Ghost Town off this new record is one of my favorite things. One of my favorite songs that I've ever heard. It's heavy, but then it's a little eerie. Lyrically, I think it's outstanding. And it's a message to all the haters out there in the world, and I think that that's something that doesn't get addressed as much in rock music per se as like maybe rap music or something like that, where you're constantly bringing those people to the forefront. Hey, telephone. Yeah, man, there's so much on the new record. Enemy Inside, lyrically is just a painful, painful song. That's another one. I mean, it's really hard to pick, but...
And when does the new record actually come out?
May 31st. You can pre-order it right now through Best Buy. You can get it on iTunes, Amazon. Go ahead and get it early, man, because you don't want to be the one waiting till later when we start to jack those prices up on you.
And they're gonna, because these guys are going straight to the top, man.
Now, as we were getting on the bus, we couldn't help but notice all the signatures on the side of the bus. What is that? Is that other bands that have signed? Is it, fans that have signed? What's the indication behind all the names on the side of the bus?
Well, it's a thing that we came up with. We had the opportunity when we picked this bus to involve the fans in a way that I don't think anyone has done before. We used to have a band house in Memphis, and we would throw parties and let fans come over and friends come over, and we'd let them just sign the wall because we rehearsed there. It literally was like, it was like a frat house, but it was a band house, you know? And we threw these crazy barbecue parties and keggers, and it was just like, if you got invited, man, it was like the place to be, you know? So we wanted to create something fun like that for the fans out here and give them an opportunity. You know, they stand in line and wait for your signature all the time, so why not carry those people that love you that much with you wherever you go? So we've invited the fans to come out, and anyone's welcome to sign the outside of the bus, man. Just don't be putting anything, you know, on there that's so messed up that we have to come, because we will have to cover it up. I mean, there are kids that are signing it and stuff like that as well. So yesterday we were in Ocean City, actually no, we were in Georgetown, Delaware, with the beach over there. And man, it was just like a flood. It was our first, you know, like real like flood of people that were there, because it was an outside acoustic and the bus was parked right next to it. So you didn't have to really kind of trail over to it or anything. They were just right there. Man, they just attacked the side of the bus afterwards, and it was awesome. So, you know, get out here, come to a show, and get your signature on this thing, man, before there's no room left.
Awesome. Now let me ask you, John, who are some of your inspirations in the musical biz?
I mean, I would say it would be different for different lanes. Growing up, you know, I grew up in state's custody and things like that, so I didn't really have the opportunity to listen to as much current stuff as my friends and stuff, you know, back home were. So I didn't find a lot of the rock that I ended up listening to later on until I was out. But, I mean, I love Soundgarden. I love the whole Seattle movement. The early 90s were great. I love, you know, 80s rock. But I listened to a lot of rap and hip-hop and old R&B growing up. I listened to a lot of country growing up. Listened to a lot of different stuff, just whatever the people that happened to be working wherever I was at the time, whatever they had on their playlist is kind of what you listen to in the car on the way to school and on the way home. So, you know, it was actually really cool, man, because you hear a lot of different things, so you're not really influenced by one genre or another. It opens your mind up. And then when I got in the band, the guys were way into the Chili Peppers and Rage and 311, so they opened my mind up to a whole other lane of music. I would say that as far as entertainer goes, I think some people find it strange who I pick as my #1 entertainer, but it's probably got to be Garth Brooks, dude. If you've never seen the man play live, to be an older dude, man, he freaking just brings it live, man. I mean, Kiss can't hold that energy, man. That dude's just insane. The show's great, the vocals are great, but dude's flying across the arena. He's like 45 years old at the time, and he's like, man, I'm old, and I'm out here just tearing it up. Let's have some fun. And I was like, that's what it's all about, is having fun with it. You know, and then, you know, you got to give props to guys like Bon Jovi, who have been self-managed for, you know, almost 2 decades now. There's so many people that do so many things well in this industry. It's hard to pick, you know, any one real influence. I try to take what I can from all of them.
I appreciate that. That's a very respectful answer. And Garth Brooks, there's going to be no charge for the publicity. Now, one last question before we go, John. Obviously, the name of the TV show, Happy Hour TV. I got to know. I'm sure, being in the rock business, you've had your fair share of happy hours. Drink of choice, buddy.
Drink of choice. Well, right now it's O'Doul's because I don't drink anymore. So when the O'Doul's isn't on my rider, I tend to get a little cranky. I mean, I'm from Tennessee, so I'm going to have to go with Jack, man. I'm going to have to give it up to Jack Daniels.
Actually,
you can
also,
put it in eggnog, you can put it in soup, you can inject it into my veins. I actually wish I was drinking right now so I could have some.
you mentioned the party house. What were some of the more crazier moments that you remember from that party house that stick out more so than anything else?
I don't really remember much, to be honest, naturally. But I would say there was one night that I came in, and this is, right, the house was mine to begin with, and then we all moved in there together to start making it the band house. And they were like, yeah, dude, it's so awesome, man. We're going to be able to practice here, dude. This is cool, John. And then I come back from work, and they've drawn all over the walls, much like the ceiling of the bus here. And I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, well, we just thought we decorated. I was like, you couldn't hang a poster? You couldn't, like, get a curtain or something and put it up? And they were like, we thought this would be better. I was like, okay. So I walk around into the kitchen, and Blake's playing like a freaking ninja in the kitchen throwing knives into the wall. And I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm just practicing. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I walk outside like 30 minutes later, and they're all on the roof, wasted, tearing shingles off the roof, throwing them at the passing cars. Setting up beer boxes so that when the ambulances come flying by, they plow through like a pyramid of beer boxes. Yeah, that's one. I remember that.
That may be an idea for a future episode, fans. Well, John, I'd like to thank you. Best of luck for you guys. I'm glad to see you finally come into your own, and thank you for the time.
Thank you.